My name is Dinesh Patel. I moved to Salt Lake City in 1985 to start a pharmaceutical company. We were focused on the sector called drug delivery. So we developed the transdermal patch. A lot of people are familiar with the nicotine patch. So we developed transdermal patches. And that was in 1985. And I took the company public in 92 and then sold it to Watson Labs in 1999. The time we sold the company, we had revenues of around 50 million. And the products that we developed at Theratech now sell over $500 million annually. So we had a lot of successful products. After selling that, I got into venture capital, and that's investing in early startups. I had done, besides Theratech, I had invested in a lot of startups. So I had gotten into that business, and I thought it might be better to have it organized instead of just personally investing in small, in startup companies. So we started a fund called V-Spring Capital in 1999. And today we manage over $400 million, and we focus on technology and in life sciences. I focus on the life science sector. And the area that I'm really intrigued by and started investing in is in molecular diagnostics. So people talk about personalized medicine, and people think that maybe there'll be drugs developed specifically for you. Well, nobody's ever, no company can ever do that. But by looking at your DNA, looking at your, all your chromosome and genes, one can actually exclude you from drugs that don't work. So it's more of an exclusion criteria, or find out if you're going to have certain diseases. So it's something that can predict, so you can prevent, instead of just trying to cure a disease once it's happened. This is more of a prevention. So I got really interested in molecular diagnostics, and Utah is clearly a place to do that kind of work because, we do have the largest database of genes, medical records, and we've discovered more disease-causing genes here than anywhere else. So the faculty here are in tune with discovering genes. The people here are very much in tune with developing products based on that. So for us, when we look at a company, our number one criteria is the management team. Do we have a team that can deliver? So, we need some experienced people, both as scientists and on the managerial side. So when we look at Lineagen, we found a team that was really solid. So once we find a team that's solid, our next question is, are you addressing an unmet need? And is there a large market opportunity for what you've done? So the company started out with developing tests for autism. And if you've seen the newspapers, every day there's something being reported about autism. And suddenly you find that autism has become quite prevalent. And in my opinion is that it's not that suddenly kids developed autism, but I believe with better testing, we're now identifying children who maybe 15, 20 years ago might have been said, crazy kid, put him in a corner. Instead of that, now we can test the child, we can find what kind of learning or development disability the child has, and then treat the child. So we see this as a huge opportunity. So Lineagen meets the first criteria, solid management. 2, unmet need. 3, it's a very large market. I mean, there's a huge market opportunity. So for us, when you have all these 3, we said we should invest. So that's how we got involved with Lineagen, and we've been extremely pleased with the way the company has progressed. The company already is marketing products. It's developing the next line of products in autism, and they're also going to develop other tests for children. And so we're very excited about our investment and our involvement with Lineagen. So obviously, whenever we invest, there is the money angle, but we also are always interested in improving the lives of people involved. When you look at autism, a family that has an autistic child, their life is totally turned upside down. I mean, even if they can just have a child that can be normal, and whatever that normal means, for half a day, it makes a huge impact for them. And with this diagnostic test, and if you give them behavioral therapy, children actually turn out to be functional and independent. So it's a huge, huge societal impact. And for us, whenever you can do that in addition to generating revenue is always a big plus. And so if we were just looking for money, we would not be investing in these kind of companies. When we looked at Lineagen as an investment, at that time, Dr. Steve Prescott and Michael Paul, they were the key kind of leaders here. And both of them Steve Prescott as a physician, his reputation is so, he's so well known in the work that he's done in genetics. And Michael Paul comes from the business side and from the science side. He was a business development person at NPS Pharmaceutical, a local company. And I had worked with him over the years. And in fact, at our venture fund, he was working with me as a venture partner. So I really know him well, and I know his capabilities. So that, to me, was a major influencing factor besides the market. Like I said, the number one factor that we look at is the management team. And then when we added Bert, I mean, he comes from the marketing side, which none of us here had. And he was at a company which he built. When he was there, they went from a small company to a several $100 million sales company. So he brought in one of the key ingredients that was missing in the team. So when you start rounding up the team, then Galen came in. He's more of a manager who can, you have to have somebody that looks after the whole operation. There's so many things happening. So you need somebody that can tie everything together. So Galen fills up that role. So to me, the key positions are filled up with people that are extremely, extremely capable. And we feel that, if A doesn't work, they'll make B work because, these are smart people who know what they're doing. So Lineagen has a very bright future ahead. I mean, just if you look at the test for autism, because it's such a spectrum. There are so many different diseases that are under that umbrella. Just to try and identify those various diseases is a huge opportunity. And then there are so many other children's diseases that nobody else has really paid any attention to. So I think this company has a potential to be huge on its own. And I would not be surprised if we have 2 or 3 more tests that this company could go public. And again, continue to develop more products that will help children. Now, this is a great opportunity for somebody who's looking to invest in a company that not only is going to do well financially, but that helps the children, helps the parents, helps the community. Lineagen is the company.